Gentlemen, when it comes to the perfect ultimate final accessory, there's nothing like a great fragrance to complement your attire. In today's video, I'm going to share with you guys my top 10 favorite gentlemanly scents that I love to wear. Let's do it. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. If you love to smell great and make a great first impression, this is the video for you. In today's video, I'm sharing my top 10 favorite gentleman-like scents that I love to wear. Now, a quick preface here. Gentleman-like scents or gentlemanly scents are fragrances that will convey a very professional, clean, crisp, very well put together vibe about yourself. Now, these 10 choices are handpicked by yours truly, tried and true for over the years. Some of these actually worn for over a decade. And I'm going to tell you right now, these will never let you down. So without any further ado, let's hop right into them. We're going to kick things off here with PRADA L'Homme. Now, you know if a list starts off with PRADA L'Homme, you know it's going to be a kick-ass list. PRADA L'Homme is everything you're looking for a gentleman's scent. It's mass appealing, it's clean, it's crisp, it carries that signature vibe that you get with Prada fragrances that is just blended to perfection, surrounded by that iris butter that's creamy, extremely appealing. It's uncanny how good this fragrance is. If you're a youngster out there watching this video, if you're in college, you're starting out your career, definitely consider checking this one out for a great day-to-day professional gentleman scent. When it comes to gentleman scents, I think woody aromatic or woody spicy are the perfect combinations for that particular vibe. You're looking at lavender, you're looking at woody components like vetiver, for instance, and there's nothing like Bel Ami vetiver, which takes that leathery kind of fragrance, the original Bel Ami. If you like vetiver like myself, this particular fragrance is going to have a very timeless, very classy, very elegant with that modern vetiver that's added to this fragrance that makes it for a great killer gentleman scent. When you're wearing this fragrance, one thing is guaranteed for sure. People are going to perceive you as a very well put together, very well mannered, very well versed gentleman. This fragrance just has that air of, you know, sophistication that you get with Hermes fragrances. We're talking about Terre d'Hermes. You know, you guys know the Hermes's collection. They do it like no one. Check out Bel Ami vetiver. If you like vetiver, if you like leather, this stuff here combines both like no other. At the 8th spot here, an exotic, amazing composition from the house of Maison Francis Kurkdjian. This is called Amyris. It has a lot of exotic components like dark chocolate, for example, and the Amyris flower, but it's blended to perfection. It's smooth. It's very subtle, yet it has that little intriguing factor about it. It's just an amazing woody, spicy, aromatic fragrance that conveys a perfect gentleman-like vibe about it. If you haven't checked out this fragrance, you're missing out big time. Amyris Homme is a woody, spicy, very aromatic scent that is just so captivating and it just lures people in. If you guys want to smell like a true gentleman, but you want something a little bit exotic, definitely check this one out. At the 8th spot, Maison Francis Kurkdjian Amyris. Now at the 7th spot here, when it comes to a true gentleman scent, you know there's a ton of fragrances out there that will give you a gentleman-like vibe, and I could have, you know, put on this list fragrances like Chanel Pour Monsieur, Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme, the original, which you guys know I love, Zara Pour Homme. I mean, there's tons of great gentleman-like scents over the years, but these top 10 here are definitely my favorites, and this one here, as the name implies, Givenchy Gentleman, I believe was released in 1934, and to this day, it's one of my favorite gentleman-like scents. If I'm, you know, if I have the hankering for that old world, very classy, gentleman-like vibe, this is definitely one that I go for. We got a lot of great notes in here like honey and malic notes, patchouli, a little bit of lavender, creamy sandalwood. I mean, it's just done to perfection. If you love an old school, you know, high class, but also a little bit animalic kind of a feel, it is just a great one. Will not let you down. If you like honey, if you like patchouli, if you like barbershop kind of fragrances, you're definitely going to enjoy this one. At my 7th spot, Givenchy Gentleman for a perfect gentleman feel like fragrance. Timeless gentleman like feel fragrances. There's absolutely a great one from the house of Guerlain at the 6th spot. This is Heritage. It carries the heritage, the name of Guerlain like no others, in my opinion. This and Lige are the two finest gentleman fragrances you can find from the house of Guerlain. Heritage is a woody, spicy fragrance that is just done to perfection from the house of Guerlain. Don't despair. This has been reformulated a few times. The bottle that you will find right now in the market is going to be a little bit different. It's not going to be as strong as an old formulation, but that's okay. It's going to perform well. It's going to give you the same kind of vibe, the same scent profile that you would find with a vintage bottle. I absolutely love this fragrance. If you like fragrances like Yves Saint Laurent Opium, it's going to be in the same genre, but this here is a lot more wearable. It's a head-turning fragrance, one of my favorite dress-up, gentleman-like fragrances. When I really want to convey a very boss vibe about myself, this is a true gentleman elixir. Check this out at the 6th spot, Guerlain Heritage. At the 5th spot, this particular fragrance is fit for a king, a true gentleman scent here from the house of AMOUAGE from Oman. This is Jubilation XXV. Perhaps my favorite from the line, along with Reflection Man. I think these two are the most wearable one. You're talking about a aromatic, almost fougere-like feel with this fragrance with added dried fruits, plum. This stuff here is just regal. It's an amazing scent, very high class, very sophisticated. One of my favorites of all time. I think at my top 10 niche for life, this was definitely in that list. So definitely check out Jubilation XXV, a perfect gentleman elixir if you have a taste for fine things in life, for high class stuff. I think there's nothing like Jubilation XXV. When a fragrance gets high praises and 5-star ratings from amazing noses like Locatora and Roja Dove, you know there's something special here. At the 4th spot, we're talking about Eau Sauvage from the house of Dior. This timeless, classic, amazing elixir released in 1966 is definitely a great gentleman-like scent. If you want to smell amazing, this is the best citrus aromatic in the market, period. One of my favorites of all time. If perhaps I listed a top 10 best trend-setting masterpieces, this would definitely make the list. If you guys want to learn more about this true gentleman elixir, go check out my full review, which will pop up here somewhere at the CFR Classic Fragrance Reviews I just did for you guys. At the number 4th spot, a true gentleman classic timeless masterpiece, Eau Sauvage from the house of Christian Dior. Speaking of trendsetter, classic, timeless masterpieces, we can't do a gentleman-like list without mentioning Tom Ford. Of course, at the 3rd spot, this amazing masterpiece from Tom Ford. This is called Oud Wood from the Private Blend collection. Now, when it comes to Tom Ford, you know he has a great nose. He's a trendsetter. He loves to be a little bit controversial. When he released M7, that fragrance was ahead of its time. I always talk about M7 because it's definitely one of my favorites of all time, which actually has resemblances with Oud Wood. I think M7 is a little bit more powerful scent, and Oud Wood is a little bit more smooth out, rounded out. A great composition from the Private Blend. If you want a modern gentleman scent with that note of oud added to it, there's creamy sandalwood in here. This fragrance just blended to perfection. Another one that's going to convey a beautiful, great gentleman, well put together, sophisticated vibe about yourself. If you haven't checked out the Private Blend, this is a great way to start. At the 3rd spot, Tom Ford's Oud Wood. Now, if you guys follow the Max Forti channel, you know how much I love vetiver fragrances. And as I talked to you guys about in the beginning of this video, I think vetiver combined perfectly with certain notes will give off a perfect gentleman boss type scent. There's nothing like this amazing composition from Chanel. You know Chanel does it well. This is Sycomore, a beautiful blend of honeyed vetiver with smokiness that gives the scent a little bit of intrigue, a little bit of fascinating kind of facet. One of my favorite vetiver fragrances of all time. This is the epitome of a vetiver lover's dream. Check out Sycomore from Chanel if you haven't. One of the best ones. Perhaps would have made my #1 choice if this hadn't been reformulated. This is actually an old EDT formula, which is a little darker, lasts a little longer. What you find today, which is the EDP, it is nice, but it doesn't last quite as long. It's not as well constructed as the older EDT. Nevertheless, Sycomore is a great fragrance, an amazing gentleman elixir. If you haven't tried out, you're missing out. Go check out Sycomore at my #2 spot. The same way I don't think you could do a top gentleman-like scent without Tom Ford, without Chanel. I don't think you could do a top 10 gentleman scents without mentioning Creed. There's one particular fragrance that I think conveys a perfect gentleman-like vibe from 1985, a timeless classic creation from amazing nose Pierre Bourdon. Of course, we're talking about Green Irish Tweed. Now, this fragrance never ceases to amaze me. It never fails me. Whenever I wear this fragrance, I get compliments. People want to know what I'm wearing. They want to get it for themselves. When it comes to the note of ambergris, I think when blended correctly, it gives off a great, very modern, sophisticated, and very elegant vibe about it. And Creed does it like no one, as we can see properly with Millésime Imperial, and very, very nicely done here with Creed Green Irish Tweed. An amazing lemon verbena, sandalwood, iris, and violet concoction that is just to die for. It's one of those scents that if you wear this, I'm telling you, and you wear it dressed apart, Green Irish Tweed alone will complement any attire. If you present yourself in a very professional, well-mannered, well-versed, version about yourself, and you top it off with Green Irish Tweed, you are a true gentleman. I'm telling you right now, from 1985, it is now 2019, it's still a top seller. Before we even talked about Creed Aventus here in the fragrance community, Green Irish Tweed was definitely the fragrance that put Creed on the map. So guys, check it out. If you want to smell like a true gentleman, this is it right here at the #1 spot. If you guys enjoyed my picks and you feel like trying any of these fragrances, let me share something with you guys. If you haven't heard about myfragrancesamples.com, which is my partner, it's a great place. Heck, it is the best place for fragrance sampling. If you're watching this video right now, any of the viewers, please comment down below. Let people know your experiences with myfragrancesamples.com. I've actually been a customer for over 3.5 years before I partnered with them because I felt like it was the perfect place for you guys to check out your fragrances before actually committing to a full bottle. Whether you're talking about new releases from designer companies, high-end niche, timeless fragrances like the one we talked about today, you name it, they've got it. You can enjoy anything in their website with my code MAX15, which will grant you guys 15% off at checkout. All that information is going to be linked in the description, guys. Enjoy. This is your turn, gentlemen. Please sound off in the comments. Let me know what your top 5, your top 10, top 3, it doesn't matter. What are your go-to fragrances that you love to wear when you need to convey a great gentleman-like vibe about yourself? Please share your thoughts in the comments. Gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. Remember, fragrances are emotion in motion, so wear what truly moves you. I'll catch you real soon.